时候给他们就好了。
欢迎过来，小飞象学生小飞象。小飞象在起身起面朝前方放好好。
女士们、先生们、小朋友们，小飞象。
Okay, Dumbo, let's get this show on the road.
在小飞象完全平稳前，请大家坐好。离开小飞象时，请小心月台空隙。感谢乘坐世界第8大奇迹——小飞象。
What a great boy! Okay, everybody, now just stay seated until Dumbo comes to a stop. Then watch your step as you get out. See you soon.
来飞象完成后，麻烦你拿下袋子吧。
你们去，我到医务室去一下。
幻想曲旋转木马很快就该启动，为了您的安全，请坐好扶稳。当您乘着幻想的翅膀飞旋时，请照看好您的小孩。The Fantasia carousel will soon begin moving. For your safety, remain seated, hold on tightly, and please watch your children as you ride on the wings of imagination.
带
行走经过了闸机的游客，顺着您左手边区人数较少，请您顺着左手边围栏往前走。如果您前方游客。
非常遗憾，由于
把门一打开。把门已关闭。
With the removal of the man on the phone not riding the ride, we can now ride.
请各位面朝前方坐好，旋转木马将启动。提醒运行过程中，请不要随意走动，不要中途上下马、上下站台，这样也没能游客始终站在并排两马的中间，谢谢。提醒运行过程中，请不要中途上下马、上下站台，这样也没有令游客始终站在并排两马中间，不要随意走动，谢谢。
您的幻想曲旋转木马之旅即将结束，在完全停止转动以前，请大家坐好并扶稳，然后小心跨下旋转木马，从最近的出口离场。Your ride aboard the Fantasia Carousel is coming to an end. Please remain seated and hold on tightly until we come to a complete stop. Then, step carefully from the carousel.
请在木马完全停止以后再小心下马。
But actually wasn't a bad rope drop. Waited 5 for Dumbo, 5 for Fantasia Carousel. You guys got to see something not in the POV video, which is where the gentleman decided to take a cell phone call while still inside the ride area. And she had to beg him to please step outside and make his phone call so she could start the ride. That was my favorite. So we're going to Adventure Isle. So I packed a GoPro for this visit thinking, oh, I'm going to film the ropes course. I forgot the screw that attaches it to the headpiece. I don't know if they would have let me in with it anyway, but I'm very disappointed because I really wanted to show the ropes course because it's super cool. So what we're gonna do instead is I'm gonna go do it now while it's early. It's been 5 minutes. People don't want to do it in this heat. It's been 5 minutes consistently. I can't take you on it, but there is a accessible route / a scaredy cat route. I want to say, obviously, people who need an accessible route are not scaredy cats. I'm saying the people who don't need the accessible route, who are afraid to do it, you know, those who are able to do it, who choose not to. There is a route they can go. Look, it's also so you could photograph. I'm being mean. It's also so you could photograph and video your family. There are a couple clips. I'll try to dig them out for this. Jason took a few clips of me doing it 5 years ago. Maybe I can splice those in so you can see me doing it. But what we're going to do regardless, there's the turtle. But there's also there's like a crocodile or an alligator hanging out in there too. I don't think he moves. I think he's a statue. But he's not a rock like the other characters. He's like a real thing. Meant to be a real thing. Oh, and ducks. There's duck rocks. Just so cute. I love Adventure Isle. It's great. But I'm going to take you guys silently, because I'm also going to film it for the YouTube channel, through the accessible path, the nature walk, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take you through there next. So I'm going to go do the ropes course, and then I will rejoin you silently for that walk. And then at the end of that walk, I'll talk a little bit about my experience on the ropes course, which again, I don't know, maybe I haven't said it in these vlogs. I've said it a million times on other programs, but this is one of the best Disney attractions in the world. It's so creative and original. There are ropes courses in lots of places, but never before has the money been spent on placemaking and theming in a ropes course. Or you can go do a ropes course anywhere, but never before, like where you go through a big fake waterfall and a big fake mountain and you go over all this beautiful scenery. And you know, it's a lot better than the ones at the mall or, you know, at the Bronx Zoo or all those other ones. That's what makes it different. Yeah, again, like, but also like the things you step on, like all the actual obstacles are pretty thematic too. Like they look aged, and there's all different paths with different difficulties. I'm explaining. I know those of you who do ropes courses are probably like, yeah, they all have different paths and they all have this and they all have that. I don't go do that regularly, and I assume there's a good amount of our audience that doesn't either. So I want to explain that for everybody. And for the ropes course snobs, I probably need to get a locker. I think they have them in here. We're going to find out. Well, let's go to Camp Discovery. I didn't even notice the last time. Maybe it wasn't working, but Chip and Dale they're sharing an acorn. I'm getting air conditioning right now. It's very nice and cool in here.
少的是这么多人。
It's pretty cute. There's not a whole lot to look at. There's this map room though, which has this detail which I love, which Kay Anderson's map room. Ken Anderson, legendary Disney Imagineer. A really cute tribute. They need a single liner. Come on, I've only done this 3 times this trip, but like there's always like 5 or more empty seats. What are they doing? The wait time is long.
我真是太了不起了！来得正好，我忠诚的船员们，在下 Jack Sparrow 船长为您效劳。好了，我们现在就去抢 David Hughes 的沉没宝藏。对，我一直在说我们，其实是你们。下去吧。
现在，咱们来分宝藏。
拿去吧，Jack Sparrow，这些就是你梦寐以求的宝藏。但是，看你怎么享受这堆海草！
我的宝藏，我的老五角，我去，每次都耍这招，咱们走着瞧。
So Zootopia is down. So I'm not going to go enter the land and stand around there. I'm going to go try to get some more of my checklist done, which means I'm going to backtrack and actually show you Camp Discovery. But we're going to take a walk to Camp Discovery. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the area between Treasure Cove and that area. So this is, you see the canoes going by. Those kind of load in between the 2 lands here. Not going to do that. They won't let us film that. I did that last time. It was fun. I like the canoes anywhere I've ever done them. It's just a fun thing. Nope, that's not zoom. This is zoom. There's this cool little mound of skulls as rocks. We see the mountain for Adventure Isle way in the back there with the waterfall, which I went through before on the Camp Discovery ropes course. I forget the name of it. Challenge Trail, I think. But all right, so we're gonna walk to Adventure Isle from Treasure Cove. That's what I say when I go into Epcot. This is a really beautiful park, right? I think Iger looked at it as his Disneyland Paris. I'm going to build the best park possible. I think in areas it's really beautiful and special. I think the attraction lineup leaves a lot to be desired. I think a lot relies on projection in this park, which is not my thing. But, you know, the audience here seems to really like that. This is really cute. This is just some weird side path. I don't know what this was ever used for, but there's, you know, we're in Adventure Isle now, and there's all these weird little figures and pottery and all these different, someone's garden, stinkweed, insubordinatium, itchy finger vine, keelhauliflower, which I like, St. Arg's Worth, sandy stuckberry, prickly nasturtium, okay, and flowering ambidextrum. Don't criticize my pronunciation of words that don't exist, please. But we're kind of on the cusp. I don't know which. There's a little bit of both lands there, right? The Arg is there, but the rest of that stuff, the rest of that decor is Adventure Isle-ish. Man, it's so hot. So this is the backside of Wandering Moon Tea House. It's Wandering Moon Barbecue. I didn't even realize there was another side. Unless the tea house became a barbecue before they closed it. I don't know. See the natural wonders of Treasure Cove like never before. Experience water up close and make new friends. This is for the canoes. Experience water up close. I love that. Oh man, it's my kind of humor. It's either carving, quote unquote carving, another canoe out here. I love these transportation rides that span two lands. Western River Railroad in Tokyo is like that. You make it wet. Dead Man's Dock, Bilge Rat builds Explorer Canoes. I like that the Explorer Canoe name made it in 2016. Still a thing. But yeah, Western River Railroad at Tokyo Disneyland. Loads in Adventureland and then goes into Western Land. And I love it. And it works thematically. It fits, right? The train takes you into the wilds of the jungle. And then out to the west. Obviously, you know, trains don't span the ocean, but thematically it works. We gotta stop to see our friends on the bridge to Adventure Isle. Our friends, the Duck Rocks and the Turtle Rock and the fake crocodile. It establishes our backstory a little bit. We start to learn what kind of animals live in this region, and it prepares us for then the more mythical of said creatures, like the Karak, the giant gator creature. I call this workout land, right? Because there's the canoes, there's the challenge trail. It feels like workout land. We'll stop and see Wooly for a moment. His name is Wooly. And you'll see that when we go through Camp Discovery, there's little photos and stuff that label him as he's not a real creature, he is the Woolly. And he loves hugs. We're gonna find out about how he loves hugs. Here's Roaring Rapids. I like that a lot better this time, but I wouldn't wait for it. I just feel like all three of the Disney whitewater rapid rides are lame. I just don't like any of them. I just don't think there's enough sets. I think they're worried. They're like, you can't do a consistent show on a rapid ride because the boat's circular and not everyone sees everything. But then meanwhile, like Walt Disney and Mark Davis loved the fact that on Pirates, every time you rode, you'd notice something different. What's the difference there? Do they just think like, oh, it's just to get wet, we don't have to like... Don't get me wrong, with Roaring Rapids, I think they tried a lot harder than they did with the other two, other than the fact that Grizzly, like, has a mountain that was the icon of the park. But I'm gonna shut up now, because we're gonna go, and actually, I'll narrate it a bit, because otherwise I feel like people aren't gonna understand what's going on. So I will narrate our tour of the walking portion of Camp Discovery, and we'll go look at this little kids dig site area as well. So this just explains what we're going to be able to do in Camp Discovery, whether it's the dig site, you get a little preview of the ropes course, some animals being discovered, crystals. There's a much more exciting bulletin board once we journey inside, which I know my fellow Disney Parks nerds will be very excited about. Once we figure out how turnstiles work. Oh. You are here, the red dot. The challenge trail is going to start right over to our right. There's also the excavation site. There's a young adventurer training camp out past that as well. The Hidden Falls Chamber. All right, we'll go find that. The House of the Ancients. Oh, that's also in the kids' play area. And the Echo Cavern. I think we get to walk through the Echo Cavern. For those of you not watching this in vlog format, I did the challenge trails. I can't film the challenge trails because you can't have loose belongings. So we're going to run adjacent to that at several points, though, as we tour this area. This is the excavation site. We'll go here at the end. This is sort of a kids' play area, maybe for those who don't want to do the challenge trail. Honestly, there's probably kids that do both. Don't worry, that exciting bulletin board's still to come. I'm going to go this way. So for the ropes courses, and I will tell you, they are incredible. The number one reason to come here. Like a ropes course anywhere else, but with theme and story, and it's just beautiful. Here are the lockers. You go to the lockers first, and then the entrance is over here. I know that says 10 minutes and I'm here in the middle of the summer, but that's because it's so hot, no one wants to do it. Usually this has a tremendous wait time, I will tell you. So keep that in mind. One of these bridges is out of service. The Barrel Bridge. Well, I think this one's pretty much the same. We'll do this one way. This is great because you get this. Oh yeah, it's a real barrel bridge. Whoop. You get this great view. This is course A or 1. I forget if it's numbers or letters, but this is the first one, which veers off to the left. That's where you start, this structure over here, and you come out, you come down the steps, and you come up this way. You climb some ropes, or there's several choices at each turn, right? So you can pick a difficulty, right? There's one with just nets that has nothing really for you to grab. There's a second one where there's more ropes for you to grab to help yourself up. You'll see he's doing that right now. Then there's just stairs if you want to skip. There's always an easy route. So even if you just want to go see views, you are under no obligation to do these harder tasks. I will tell you though, if you've never done one of these, challenge yourself. I had a lot of fun. I've never done one of these, and I'm not the world's most athletic person. I had a really good time. So you'll see this one, there's like big gaps. And there's nothing to hold on to, but you're roped. So see, you can always use this rope to stabilize you. So you can hold that with 2 hands if you want and use that to stabilize yourself. And it makes that a lot easier, honestly. Or you could do it one hand like he's doing, which is probably a little more challenging. But as you see, you get to go over this waterfall and this river. It's really cool to look down at that. And you obviously see that because there's holes there. If you do the other two, you can still see it, but you see there's one where you traverse a thin log, and then there's an easier one. Oh, look at this guy. Oh. It's iguanodon. Iguanodon. It's iguana. Sorry, dinosaur. I like dinosaur a little too much. There's also a frog hanging out over there. But yeah, Barrel Bridge a la Tom Sawyer Island here, but you're not going to get these to sink. I know we get the Tom Sawyer ones to sink, but it's still got that bounce to it. No climbing. Save that for the ropes course. We're going to keep... Well, we can go out to this... There's a little lookout here. It's so pretty. And that's really a big part of it. Like, again, you could do a ropes course pretty much anywhere, but I don't think in the world there's one this thematic, this pretty, not unless you go to like maybe somewhere with real nature like this. Again, you could see the different challenge levels, right? There's less slats, more slats, and then just an easy bridge you could just walk across. There is an accessible route, so that way you can come explore. Yeah, and that continues onward. I think that should be commended that they built this entire incredible experience with the idea that someone in a wheelchair can come along and see what's going on here. You see a lot of decisions being made. People are very indecisive which way they should go. I mean, it's scary. You've never done this before. I was pretty scared. And I've seen a woman, like our first time when we went through the waterfall, which you're not going to see from this path because you really can't see it from down here. There's a woman who fell and like ripped her knee open. It was bleeding all over the rock. And that was enough to scare me, man. But I still went. It was too late to turn back at that point. I went for it. There's a big camera here. Well, you can kind of look through there. It's not clean. I mean, It's hard to be clean. There's a waterfall constantly misting, but yeah, here you go. So this is the easy one back here, because you see there's a rope along the side you could hold on to. This one, there are ropes every so often, but there's no, you know, constant side to hold on to. And then if either of those seem too much, you have a walkway on this side. And in between, again, in case you've never done a ropes course before, in between, these are these little places you can switch tracks. So at any point you can decide to take it easy or to challenge yourself if one of them seems more or less doable for you. Oh, we found a vein of gold. Runs all the way up. I don't know what this is. Some sort of mystic, I don't know, some marking. Something happened there. Something related to the gold appearing, I assume. I don't know. We'll keep going. Man, I love this. Even if you don't want to do the ropes course, this is just such a cool walkthrough. It's so pretty. This is a lost art. The U.S. parks just don't spend real estate or time on things like this. But so many of the international parks have sort of places you can walk, like experiences you walk through. Oh, he's going backwards. You're not supposed to do that. I think she's yelling at him for going backwards, but I think he came back to go with his kids. But he's getting yelled at. I love this. So this one there's only a few places to step, otherwise you got to use the rope. But there's what looks like the remnants of a bridge. So there were more slats, but they quote unquote broke away. And you see that as you look down. So it's like you're in a movie, kind of, right? It's pretty neat. I hope people don't mind I'm filming. If you're worried about people watching you do this, maybe don't do it. I you know, obviously I'm an overweight American. I'm a little self-conscious. I think about everyone in the foreign countries looking to see if I'm going to be okay or if I can do it. They probably think I, you know, can barely walk. But nonetheless. Alright, so now we're going out. This is course 2 or B. So I did both of these this morning. There is a third one that's not operating today and has not operated any time I've ever been here. But you can see there's like stones for you to jump from stone to stone here. I don't know if there's a better angle over here maybe. There's an easier one and a harder one. Same thing back there. I am proud of myself. I did all the hard ones today. I'm sure people won't believe that, but you know, the good thing about being tall and having size 15 feet is stuff like this you can make it in a leap or not even a leap, just a big step that other people, you know, people not your height cannot. So I do have a distinct advantage with this kind of stuff. The one where I didn't have an advantage is the waterfall, which again we can't see from here. But it's a very narrow ledge. That's the scary one. That's where I saw the lady fall. And I barely, like, I would say 10% of my foot was on the ledge. And I had to just sort of tiptoe through. Oh, look at this. Found some ancient cave markings, I think, of humans living in harmony with the wildlife. Now this is cool. This is the cavern. So you're going over like a 30 or 40 foot tall chasm here. There's only 2 ways to go here. There's an easy way that just goes around the rock outside, or this way, which I'll be honest was pretty easy. I mean, I don't know, for these kids it might be hard. I don't know as a kid. As a kid that might be challenging, but I think this one's pretty doable and is a big You're just over a big open chasm. Now this is cool. Here's another cave painting with, this is, some humans are explaining, I think, that the Karak, this mythical creature, lives here. So there's the Karak, there he is. And he traveled up, I guess they're showing that he traveled up into the mountain, right? There's footprints going up that way. The other nice thing about this is no one does this walking trail, at least not when it's this hot, I guess. But maybe people don't really do this walking trail, so it's a good opportunity to take your time, take some photos, and relax, and there's just no other people. This park is busy, which it typically is. This is a nice way to escape. I think Roaring Rapids is right there. I think that's what we're hearing. Yeah, so this is towards the end of B. These little swing steps. This one wasn't that hard. Then there's a net you can go up, or there's just straight up stairs if you need. I mean, it's cool that you can assess all of this from outside if you're on the fence about doing it. But the other thing I say is, even if you're on the fence about doing any of these, just go do it anyway, because you could always just go do the walk. Like, that's just a straight up bridge with a rope. Like, it's super wide. Like, it's not scary. It's literally just so you can, you know, experience it with the rest of your group if they're doing it, or if there's anyone, if you get tired and you don't want to do anymore, you could just take the little easy walking routes. That's what I think. It's ingeniously designed. Again, I'm not familiar with a lot of ropes courses elsewhere. I'm sure it's all these things are things you can find, but maybe not. Maybe Disney came up with some stuff that is a little out of the ordinary, other than theme, which I know, like, they went above and beyond here, man. Bring good shoes. All right, I promised you a fun bulletin board. Let's go to the fun bulletin board. So for some reason, C doesn't exist here. Obviously, when this park opened in 2016, C was already a thing in all of its forms, but they didn't use that here. But there are some things which feel like C references to me, but they're not. So first of all, there's the Woolly. No, it's as cute and as soft as can be. A baby Woolly is most huggable indeed. There's some stuff in the native language I can't read, but this is a fun one. Lost Temple Found. LOA, that is the organization, which is the, what is it, League of Adventurers. Lost Temple Found. LOA discovered the Temple of the Crystal Skull. So this is Tokyo Disney Sea. This is the Indiana Jones attraction there. And there's a picture. That's the queue. Maybe that's what it's going to look like in Florida. We don't know yet. But then the side story here. Tragic accident at a Hollywood hotel. Hotel guest disappeared following elevator malfunction. What could that possibly be, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's, of course, Tower of Terror. Hollywood Tower Hotel. The Hermans of Hollywood's most elite family. So here's the Woolly. The Woolly's getting a hug from some adventurers. There's the Crystal Skull. That's in the queue too, this art. And so is this as well. And there's the exterior. They've added some cars out there. Those are not usually there, those vehicles, but that is the temple from Disney Sea. There's some references to an Arctic expedition. My belief is this is a reference to the sea attraction they didn't build. Hong Kong, as one of their 3 lands when they did their expansion around that time, was supposed to do this Arctic area that was sea-based. We don't really know what the attraction was, but also here's a reference to Disneyland's submarine voyage and the Matterhorn. So there's the yellow submarine with the mountain in the background. It doesn't really look like the Matterhorn, but obviously, you know. And then Atlantis, far below. Atlantis, of course, was featured in all of the submarine attractions as they originally existed. The desert. But then, Expedition Everest. Is that Joe? It might be Joe. Hard to tell. But we know who that is. That's Betty the Yeti. There she is. From Expedition Everest. This might be, I assume, a connection to Soarin'. Soarin' over the horizon is in this land. So that makes sense. There's several references to this blimp called the New Horizons. That's, of course, a reference to. That was the song in Horizons at Epcot. League of Adventurers' new airship setting new course for adventure. Airship expedition meets Ayers Rock Anangu. Befriend indigenous tribe of hunters. I don't think this would be allowed anymore. But here, obviously, they wouldn't care, but some really fun park references. I love that, like, that's not, you know, that's not really meant for the local audience. That is for you and me. And the Imagineers had some fun knowing that when we showed up, us fanboys and girls and others, we would find that and be really enthralled with it. All right, we're going to do a quick walk out to the dig site because I am sweltering. It is sweltering and I am sweating heavily. All right, to the excavation site. Keep calling it the dig site because that's what it is at Animal Kingdom. That's also the pool at Coronado. Is the dig site pool. Again, fully accessible if you need. Fish guy. There's a bunch of like creatures. Fox. Some slides. Some birds. There is a little playground space down here we can go explore for a moment. This reminds me a little bit of Camp Jurassic at Islands of Adventure. So you can go through there, and it goes through into here. You could go down in there. You can climb up through the top and in. There's another little cave right here. Just go in and out of. So it switches to sand here. You could dig deeper to see more of what's going on there. They give me stretching room vibes. I don't know if you go deeper if it gets a little stretching room. You could see there's like the lady on the wire, like Sally. There is something coming up to get this guy. He's very unhappy about it. These guys are stacked like the dynamite guys, right? Oh yeah, she's on a tombstone. That's absolutely a tombstone. And then the last one would be the dynamite, right? Why am I blanking on the 4 stretching portraits? Dynamite. Oh, they're stacked on the dynamite, those guys. The dynamite, the gator, the woman on the tombstone, and why am I blanking on the last one? This is embarrassing. I'm going to dig a little here. That's gonna take too long. Well, you get the idea. It's pretty cool though. I guess piranhas. I guess because the top is giving away what the reveal's gonna be. It's pigs. So the ropes course goes through the top of this, but then you can come in here. And there's some stuff to dig out. There's a big disc here in the middle, but I know I've seen there's like a pot, a couple of pots and things like that you can dig out here. So there's a covered one, but then there's also one. Well, I mean, that one's just indoors. This has a cover too, but there's this pretty tile work in this one. Like a moon and a sun face. Maybe a Small World reference. I wonder if they're all Disney attraction references. And I'm just not catching them. Huh. Snakes. Scary head, I don't know. Maybe Indiana Jones, I don't know. I might be reading too much into this. Don't let me go down this rabbit hole. People that come with me to the parks know sometimes I'll get lost in thought trying to figure out if something's a reference. So this is the training area where essentially like a little ropes course for the kids without the rope. But they can practice all the same sorts of things, right? Jumping from log to log, from stone to stone. There's a little rope bridge like the one up there. It's very cool. Or they could just dig. I want to go out here and see this view of Roaring Rapids. There's an Imagineer who worked on Camp Discovery out there watching this. Tom at WDWNT.com. Please let me know. I'm going to be very curious. I think we saw it all, unless we can go out to the right. I don't think so, though. I think that's it. Yeah. Except there's one more thing I could show you, which is a attempt at the Tokyo Disney Mickey hand washing station. I tried this yesterday, it doesn't really work, but you get the idea. This will pump Mickey soap on your hands. You can wash your hands, and that's where we're going to end our tour of Camp Discovery. This blueberry sundae is phenomenal. It's the best blueberry ice cream I've had. Not that I've had a lot, but I've had blueberry ice cream before. Very good. There's a nice moist chocolate cake in there. There's vanilla ice cream at the bottom. There's like, I forget what those are, the chocolate. They're like chocolate Cheerios, kind of. I think they're called something else. But then you get this great souvenir bowl, which I've made a mess of. But it's 100 degrees outside, so I don't know what we thought was going to happen. But I like jumbo ice cream. It's what it's supposed to actually have is ice cream, so that makes sense. Better than a giant marshmallow ball. Okay, we filmed our full 15-minute tour of Zootopia. We got a lot done today. Not as much as I would have liked, but I always put too much on my agenda. But I feel like all the things I needed to get done are done. We didn't even look at the Garden of the 12 Friends. I need to shoot B-roll of just the exterior of the Fantasia Carousel and Dumbo. on the way out. So we're gonna go that way. I'll show you guys the garden of the 12 friends. And then I gotta hit the road. Unfortunately, like other than shopping at Avenue M, the store on Mickey Avenue last night, I really didn't get to spend time on Mickey Avenue at all. There's stores I didn't even go in. Like I didn't do anything, didn't even look at the facades. Like just didn't have enough time. My itinerary was too packed. So, you know, I think 3 days is enough. I think not for me because there's a couple more things I would have liked to have done. I would have liked to have gone and eaten somewhere at Disneytown and looked around at Disneytown and even World at Disney. Didn't get to do that. Didn't get to walk out to the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel and check out the construction of the new hotel that's going vertical now out that way. Didn't get to go to Wishing Star Park out there. There's like just a big park space, like green space with little recreational things to do out that way. I would have liked to film a tour walking around the Toy Story Hotel. There just wasn't time. I didn't finish my fun passport book. Work got in the way. So I could have used another day. It just didn't work out with the schedule. I'm glad I got to come at all. I would have liked to have done a few more things. I would have liked to have, maybe not even another full day, but I could have used the rest of today for sure. But I think flights to Hong Kong were only so cheap today. I think it was $100 with Hong Kong Airlines to get out there today, as opposed to $220 tomorrow. And then it got worse as the weekend progressed. So it was like, well, that should be enough for Shanghai, and I underestimated a little bit. This is why, if you ever wonder, when we go to the opening of stuff, I usually like stay longer than people should. So when we did World of Frozen in Hong Kong, I did 4 days because I wanted to make sure everything was done. You know, you never know how long it's going to take to shoot a tour, to see all the details, you know, all that stuff. In Zootopia, I feel like I didn't get to do everything in there I wanted to do. I didn't get to eat everything in there, which is all mostly just Jumbo's Cafe and then a couple things at that market outside. But I'm gonna take a break from filming for a second before the phone overheats in a minute. All right, here we go through the Garden of the 12 Friends. So this is just a Chinese zodiac sort of walk through. Oh my God, a passport stamping place. Hold on. I'm gonna go get my passport stamp and get one more. All right, before I get distracted. So there are 12 tile mosaics of characters representing the Chinese zodiac. I don't remember this having a sponsor. Maybe it always did. I don't know. And these are beautiful. These are hand done. Like the tile work is fantastic. So Pig is Ham from Toy Story. The dog, Pluto. This is a fun one. The rooster, Alan and Dale from Robin Hood. And look at Robin Hood and Marion in the background. I love this. It's not an attraction. It's just something pretty to come look at. I love this kind of stuff. The monkey is Abu. The Jolly Holiday Lambs. The horse, Maximus. One of my favorites, Ka. In the Jungle Book. I love this one. So cute. Mushu. For the dragon. This one was changed, and it makes me very sad. I mean, I love Zootopia, and it's very pretty. Like the city looks gorgeous. I love that. But this was Thumper from Bambi, which of course one of my favorite movies. Maybe even more so than Zootopia. I mean, childhood favorite of mine. This is very pretty, but where did Thumper go? Did they just destroy it? I hope they just took it. I assume these frames can come off, or these can be removed from the back or something. You wouldn't want to just, if you ever want to change one of these, have to destroy one, but maybe they did. Tigger for the tiger. For the ox, it's Babe the Blue Ox. And then Remy for the rat. Yeah, and they have a little description of who the character is with each one. Okay. There's the big donut. I need to get a picture of this while it's turning. There we go. I got it. The coolest thing, I think we showed it in a vlog, I can't remember. The donut lowers for nighttime show viewing, which I thought was fun. But alright guys, I'll catch back up with you in a few minutes when we make our way out and head towards the bus. Back to the hotel, grab my stuff, then to the airport, and off to Hong Kong for a few days. Well, that's all for me from Shanghai Disney. Overall, I feel better about this park than I used to. It's probably not my number 12 anymore out of 12, but I'll save my park rankings for another video. You probably watch this thinking, oh, this park looks cool and it's pretty. It is very pretty in the maintained spaces, but oh, I see Lena Bell. I didn't know she came up on the train station and waved. I would have made a point to see that. This is Mickey Avenue, no Main Street here. It's basically Main Street if Toontown and Main Street had a baby. I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun. I thought it would feel sacrilegious. It ended up being one of my favorite lands. I think this and Adventure Isle are my two favorite lands in this park. Again, I wish we had time. I really got to get out of here. I'm already 30 minutes past what I wanted to leave, but it's very cute. Next time, do lots of exploring. So long, Shanghai Disney Resort. I want to sincerely thank you all for watching this series. I know many of you have been real passionate about it and enjoying it, but this is the end. But if you missed any parts, this is the first one you watched, please go back. There are several other parts of this series. My whole trip is very well documented for you to enjoy. If you really enjoyed it, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and if you want to support us even more, you can join the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT and shop at carouselofproducts.com. And as the sign says, we'll see you real soon.